Welcome back to Hammer Time. I won't get too much into it. Let's not talk too much about the HMRC saga that's been going on in the last week or so with West Ham into trouble. Well, not just West Ham, but other teams throughout the country in France with all the tax scandal. I don't really sort of like say too much, but it's just another downward spiral for our particular club. Considering the positive draw, if you like, at Everton. Everyone took a massive positive from that game. A big uplift, I thought, from everybody that was involved on the forums. Everyone, all the fans, like I said before in my last preview, that everyone sort of like, really got together. We were virtually safe, and I think everyone felt part of everything. It was like, everyone come together for that particular game. Maybe you might think I'm wrong. Please comment on that if you don't think that's right. I thought everything was right. Again, I'd like to go back to a couple of other people that I've known on the forums as well. But again, I think I said to you on the last video I done that. About Sacco getting the applause that he deserves. Well, I don't think he deserves the applause, even though I did applaud. I was a bit sort of like, I couldn't sort of work out why I was, but I think he don't deserve, to be playing the way he's treated the club. Player, or whatever how good he is. You've got the likes of Fletcher that don't get a chance, and Clary can't hit a barn door. As much as people are saying, "Oh, Clary, he's getting better," I don't see it. Again, another player that can, as far as I can concerned, can just go. We don't need players that are like that. We ain't got. We've got youth there. We've got Fletcher. Give him a go. That's my opinion. I don't know what your opinions are. Like I say, everyone's got different opinions. I'm entitled to mine, so it doesn't really matter. Going back to the recent, I was going to talk about transfers now, about John Terry, so I'll get this all out of the way first before I start talking about the team and stuff like that, about how we're probably not probably set up, but how I'd like the team to be set up. John Terry, big no for me. A lot of reasons. Again, he's done it. He's been there, done it all. I'm not saying he's not a good captain. I'm just saying that we don't need a player like that in our club. We want the youth. I'm getting fed up with getting linked with old players when we've got a good enough talent in our system. We're the best in the country. Obviously Southampton are quite good doing their youth developments, but we were one of the best in getting the youth up through. This is the history of our club. So I'd like to see what we've got for next season. Start playing a few of them now, regardless of the results. I know everyone wants to win, but I think we're adaptable as fans. We know, if he's trying to try and do that. I know Blitz, you might say he's trying to save his job. He ain't stupid. He's an intelligent man. Give the guy a break. I know you might think he might save his job. The board is to blame just as much as he is, if not more. We've had a lot to cope with in the last season or so. And Bilic has had a lot to cope with the Pyatt and all that sort of situation. Go back to transfer, like I said about John Terry. The other talking point would be Antonio. He will go. If you don't think he's going to go, then please comment down there below. But one thing for sure, if he's going to get double his money, if he stays, then that will be. And I mean stay, not like being a snake, not like Pyatt did. If he wants to go, then let him go. Don't have all this scenario where we try to promise him this, promise him that. If he wants to go and we can't afford to pay his wages, just let him go. We can't, we can't muck about big thing. People, always, when one goes, there's always someone else to replace, if that makes sense. We're giving him the chance, but I think fans, players like that should stay, because that means loyalty, and that's what our club's all about loyalty, being passionate, just like our fans, okay, and work ethic. Anyway, going back to the game, probable lineup I've been sort of like reading about. is not for me the probable lineup. Apparently going to be changing about 4 or 5 players. That's the gossip. But my lineup, I'd like to see. I was going to play 4-4-2, but I decided to change it, and I think we play a defensive is not going to work. We need to score a goal or two. So I've gone with a slightly different, a different approach. We're going with Adrian in goal. Reed, Collins, and Creswell comes back into the fold at left back. So it gives us that cover. In front of him, I'm going to put in front of Collins, a centre back, and put in COYI just to do that mopping up of all the stuff that he's good at doing. Obviously, he's not very the best of passers, but he's really got that work ethic. That the graft that he can get a foot in here and there. So he can go from left to right to help the back four up. At right midfield, I'm going to go with Fernandez because I think he's just playing well. I think we deserve just play him young, give him a go. We know played well last week. Why not play well this week? In the middle is going to be Nordveit with Lanzini. I thought again something different, and they both played well. Don't want to change it too much. And then on the left midfield, I was going for Masuaku. Being is that he can go forward, he can take players on, and I think he's doing better than Creswell at the moment. But Creswell is very good at if he can just stay there, and then because he's fit, he's strong. So just put him in there as a left back, as a natural left back. I think if I'm wrong, maybe you'd like to see something different there. Please comment down below. And then up front, I'd like to see COYI and probably Fletcher. People say Caleri. Again, I'm not a Caleri fan. Thought we'd done alright last week, but maybe that's me. I don't think I think Fletcher deserves. I don't know. I think Fletcher deserves a chance. He's been a bit naughty, I think, to be fair. So tell me your thoughts on that one. I'm going to go through a few little players that are out, which are going to be obviously the usual. Faguli, Snodgrass, Carroll, Adalps, Antonio, Obiang, Obona, Tor, which I thought Tor was gone anyway. I really thought he was going away. Didn't think he was coming back regardless. So they're all out this week. A few stats: West Ham won 36, drawn 25, and lost 34. Quite interesting considering we've won more than them. So I think Loro's prediction, Mark Lawrenson, which I don't really like anyway. I don't think a lot of people like him. He don't like West Ham for some reason. I think he predicted Stoke 2-0. I can't see it. I think we've got nothing to lose. I think we're up a bit more up for it. In the last meetings, in the last 6, West Ham have drawn 2, 1-1, lost 3, which ain't that great, is it? But it's a stat, and I think overall stats says it all. Going back to now Stoke, they've only won one of their last 6, which is not good for them. So they'll be looking to bounce back and trying to, because you can't not deny they've got some players. To be fair, a lot of people have been on their forums. Who would they choose out of their team? I don't think I'd like any of them, apart from, actually, funny enough, one player that I'd take from their team, and that would be an Archer. I can't even pronounce his name. An Archinovic. I don't know what his name is. You know what I'm talking about. But anyone can tell me what his proper name is and pronounce it. You tell me. But he's the only player that I would take. So Stoke. So Stoke. Going back to the Stoke players that I think the ones to watch would be Arnautovic, whatever his name is, which is a very hard one. One I'd like very much, because he's a very, very good player and a grafter. And he's not always a clean player. Sometimes you don't, much you want to be clean. Sometimes you've got to try and, get stuck in. You need to get stuck in. And is it what's his name? Is it Paul Allen come from. He's another player you've got to watch in the middle, and I think Barahino is on the bookies bets to score against us, which I don't think he'll do that much anyway. He's always been sort of off the bench and not on the bench, and more on, and he's no one's really settled. I don't think he'll do that well. I've never been a liker of him anyway. I know people say, oh, he'd be good for the price, but what has he done really? He's never, not a lot really, to be fair. Slight doubts for those at Stoke are Jonathan Waters, Ibrahim Afellay and Stephen Ireland. I'm led to believe, this is what I've been told. So that's all the stats. I just want to sort of like say that well, I'm hoping, going back to my prediction, that I want to predict obviously who's going to win. Again, I think it's going to be not a very good entertaining game. All depends how Bilic sets it up. I think if he plays more a defensive sort of it's going to be boring. It's not going to be it's going to be defence. Both teams are going to be defending. It's all going to be in the middle of the park. No one's going to want to try and score, so it's going to be a very boring game. So it's going to be a very low scoring game. So I think it's going to be probably a 0-0 draw, or West Ham will nick it slightly with a 1-0 win. I think it's either going to be 1-0 to West Ham or 1-0 to Stoke. But my heart says 1-0 to West Ham. I'm hoping that's going to be the case. I just want to show you something. I just got another picture that I want to show you. This is our beautiful picture. Look at that. Who misses this place? Because I certainly do. He's a bless the girl. She's nearly enough been brought down now. So I'm going to put that back up on my wall. So I'm going to put it up behind me somewhere where it's like a bit more space, and a bit sort of like get tight. I've got so many pictures now. So once again, I'd like to say thank you to everybody that have liked and shared the post, or even subscribed. So thank you for that. I do appreciate it. Like I said, I wasn't going to do too many of these. I can only do them when I can, and I'm really enjoying it. I've got quite a few views not long ago. It wasn't a lot, but it's a bit of fun. I'd like to say thank you to everybody that I do see on a regular basis when I do up to the home games. And one day I will go to an away game. I haven't been up to one, just because it costs quite a bit of money when we was doing home games and away. That's why I do. I'm proud of those guys that do go up. All the fans that do go to the away games. I'm envious of them, because that's something I'd like to do. Have a bit of a party and stuff like that. And going back to the party, the Hammers. By the way, Hammers chat are doing the party, but last game of the season, home game against Liverpool, are doing a party boat. I led to believe. Don't look on the Twitter and go on the Hammers chat site, and you'll see the link. Probably they're probably doing a after the game, Liverpool game, they're doing a boat trip. I'm hoping they're doing a DJ, and I'm going to try and get on that if I can. It ain't set in stone, so hopefully that'll be good. So to all that, like I said before, if anybody wants to help me and do the live stuff, and with this, any other forum that's out there can give me some advice with some things, or that like the way I do things, or they don't want me. Obviously everyone's got their own channel that they're more interested in what they are doing, but I'd like to have give me some tips and some advice. That'd be great. So again, like I say, let's get that win on Saturday, pushes up the league, makes us completely safe, bring in some youngsters. I know we can't bring them back from loan, but play some youngsters that we have got, and then go from there. So come on, you Irons, have it.